Thank you, thank you. Good evening, everyone, and thank you, citizens, commission members, and staff, as I welcome you and call this Stonecrest Film and Entertainment Commission meeting to order today, Thursday, July 21st at 6:11 p.m. Since our secretary is not here to do the roll, I will. Okay, our secretary is on her way here to do the roll. While she's on her way here, I first like to bring forth our mayor. This is her first meeting with this film commission this year, so I'd like for her to come up, and if she'd like to share anything with us, we'll be more than happy. As well, as a matter of fact, she is a ex officio member of the commission, so so glad to have her here. Mayor Cobble?
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I too loud? Okay, I hear a little feedback. Hey, I just wanted to come and say hello. I am trying to make my way to every board, commission, authority, and committee that I can. One, to say thank you for committing your time to serving our city. It most certainly does not go unnoticed that you are sacrificing your time and giving us your talents to serve in this capacity. So I want to make sure that you have my gratitude for that. Um, there are many things you could be doing with your evenings. And so that you're choosing to be with us and do the great work of the city of Stonecrest, we are most certainly grateful. I also wanted to make sure that you knew that my doors are always open to talk with you, to give you feedback, and most certainly to partner in our film and entertainment initiatives. There's so much ahead for us, especially in this industry, and we are so excited to take the next steps to get us there. With our new economic development director on board, we most certainly foresee that department playing an enormous role in our film and entertainment industry. And also the economic development plan and to partner with the film and entertainment strategy will most certainly help us launch into what is yet to come for the city of Stonecrest. So I just want you to know that I will be engaged with you every step of the way. I may not physically be present at every single meeting, but you most certainly have all of my support and anything that we can do to help. And I say we because I am still a part of the city council. I will always be in my heart of hearts. I will remain in that capacity. So we are so excited to see what's coming around the corner for us. So I did not going to take long. I just wanted to tell you that. Again, I appreciate you so much. If it wasn't COVID, I'd love on you a little bit closer. But we most certainly will be able to do that, hopefully very, very soon. In the meantime, stay safe. Reach out if you need me. And I look forward to all of our progress. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mayor Cobble. We appreciate you, and thank you for being a part of the vision and helping us move forward with the great things that's happening here in Stonecrest. We appreciate you. All right, have a good evening. Since we have our secretary in place now, Madam Secretary, if you would you please do the roll call for the meeting this evening?
Yes, I will. Councilman Rob Turner,
Here.
Patrice Deshabere, Berta Watson,
Present.
Victoria Turner, Stacy Thibodeau, Matt Calhoun, Sandra Lewis Glass, Leslie Green, Demetrius Williams, Angel Forte,
Present.
Gaza Forte,
Present.
and Cassandra Wilson, present.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Because of somewhat of an emergency situation, Victoria Turner will be joining us via Zoom. She won't be here this evening. And with that, I think we don't have any legal representation. I was wondering, with her as a Zoom representative, will she still be able to serve as I guess, a quorum? Yes, ma'am. She will not? Thank you for that. Okay, so we do not have a quorum for this evening. So we will not be voting on any of the activities or any of the agenda items that we have today, but we will be discussing some things that I think that are vital to the Entertainment Commission. First and foremost, and most importantly, is that we stand and have a word of prayer as we move forward. Can we stand, please? Most Heavenly Father, what a mighty God you are, we thank you for this commission and the servant leaders you've chosen to be a covering over it. As we meet this evening, we invite you to be in charge of all that we do. Let us please you and give you the glory that only you deserve as we walk in the purpose and destiny you have for this commission. We submit our will and way to you, knowing that your will for us is perfect. Thank you for the gifts, the talents, abilities, and callings you've placed in us to bless the citizens of Stonecrest, DeKalb County, and the state of Georgia, and to create a future that will bless generations to come by the power of your precious Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. And you may be seated. Everyone has a copy of the agenda. We will go through some activities with the agenda in reference to what we'll call, what's been placed on here. We won't vote on the approval because we do not have a quorum, as I stated. So we really will move now into public comments. Do we have any public comments in reference to, no Zoom or no public comments in person? Okay, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I would like to invite someone up to the podium that I brought with me. His name is Mr. Monty Ross. He's a producer. He was Spike Lee's producer for a very long time, and he is working on some things here in Stonecrest, and I've invited him down, and he had a few questions, and I just wanted him to be a part of what we have going on here.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Ross, I know you. I'm so glad to see you. Come on up, and it's a good time for you to speak to us in our public comments.
Oh, is it on? Oh, there we go. As I would say, thank you for inviting me to come down, Cassandra, and thanks for having me here. I would just like to say this, that for me, I've done a lot of stuff as far as producing, but one of the things that I haven't done yet is a directorial debut. So I've been talking to Ron Bivens, who I work with at our studios, and Kimbrough. So I have decided to go ahead and put my hat back in the ring, with what little hair I have left, to have a directorial debut. So you'll hear more about that, and I would like to, more than likely I will be using the studio at our studios as well as other locations in and around the area. So that will be something that I'm hope will bring in attention, bring in financing, and all the above. But I just want to make that announcement and go on record with that here at the city of Stone. And I've been here since March, so I have really enjoyed my time here at Stonecrest as well, in being in and around this area. So it's a great place to be, and I'm really happy to continue to be a part of the growth, especially in my industry. You know, something that I've been in for so long, but I would really like to make it something really special. So that's the good news I would like to share with you this evening. And if you need me, Cassandra knows where to reach me. I'm at our studios, and I'm really here to be of service and to really help you as much as.
And I don't know if you remember us, but thank you for coming to our meet and greet that we had, the Stonecrest Film Fest,
Yes.
meet and greet. And then, of course, we always went to the studio and toured the studio, so that was great.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming out.
Yeah, and I would just like to say, we did have the screening June 13th and June 19th on Georgia Public Broadcasting, and the numbers were very phenomenal. We had a very good turnout. We did a live broadcast, etc. But we had a really good turnout for that. So Georgia Public Broadcasting now has asked us to come back and develop other programs, and that they will be a part of that and help us in terms of our fundraising efforts and everything else. So off and running. I'm really happy to be here to make things work. If you need me.
Don't sit down yet, Mr. Ross.
Okay.
First of all, let me just congratulate you and thank you, first of all, for the great things that you've done and have done in the past, and for your directorial event that's coming up. And I just want you to know that that's why the Film Commission is in existence, to help and assist filmmakers like yourself and work with you in any kind of capacity. How can we help? What can we do to enhance what you want to do in the direction you're moving in?
Well, one of the things, definitely in terms of the tax credit for sure, that's number one. But also I want to extend myself that during the production itself, I will be, teaching. And so I'm down really here for training. There are a lot of people who have transferable skills who are not working. So workforce development is very important to me. That's something I've been a part of for years. Matter of fact, me and Spike, any number of intern programs that we had the 40 Acres of the Mule Film Institute. Is something that 2 hours on Saturday. We got people like Robert De Niro, major stars, Marty Scorsese, in addition to any number of, production designers, people like Wynn Thomas, people like, Ruth Carter, to come and spend 2 hours with people in the, in any neighborhood, anybody who wanted to come and be a part of those classes. So that's something I want to institute as well. So my set will be completely different in that, there'll be workforce development happening. There will be people who have, high skills, and those people who don't the high schools as well as those who are still trying to learn more about the business. So that is something that I wanted to let you know. I'm kind of a wild cannon, but at the same time, I have trained a lot of people, and they have benefited and gone on to do a number of things because I have a tendency to cut out all the fat and move people forward, whether you have a lot of experience or whether you have very little experience. So it'll be that type of set.
Any other questions or comments for Mr. Ross?
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you,
you
sir,
guys
for
are doing
coming.
a wonderful job. Give yourself a round of applause.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you. And thank you, Ms. Wilson, for bringing Mr. Ross, inviting him in this evening. Appreciate you, dear.
No problem. He's my mentor. He left that out. I've known Mr. Ross for a long time, and what he's saying is true. He can teach you a lot if you're willing to learn, but you just have to be open and willing to learn because the way it works in Hollywood and in New York, we have to come to that standard because they're not going to lower to what we do. We have to go to that standard, and he can teach you that. He can teach you.
We are so looking forward to that. Yes, sir. Your name, please? Oh, hey, Pastor. Okay.
Hey.
I didn't recognize you with the mask on.
I know it'll hide you. If I may speak.
Yes, you
this
may,
time.
yes.
Listen, our church has launched a film school. My wife has been a 9-year film teacher for the Cobb County School System at the Cobb Preparatory Academy and has launched her own school and started this summer with a basic summer program to kind of see the interest. We've got about 72 students, young kids from ages 5 to about 14 who are very interested in the film industry. So we've been teaching. For those who don't know, I have a 15-plus year tenure in the film industry. I worked with Mr. Tyler Perry for about 6 years. I did some touring with him as well as some studio work before he built the new studio. And we did a couple of movie scores and so forth. Also with my wife's educational background. So we just put it all together. And just to be here, I was invited here tonight. And I just wanted to just introduce ourselves as Dream Film Academy as well as the 3D Church right here in Stonecrest, Georgia. And we want to openly honor what you guys are doing here. I thank you for what you stand for, and I think that we could connect in a lot of ways in a partnership beyond just church, because I know you're from church, but just to help some of these kids get something to do other than walk these streets and find something to get into that doesn't feed into a trade or a future. So that's all. I just wanted to introduce myself to the city of Stonecrest.
Tell us about your activity tomorrow. Aren't you doing something tomorrow?
We're doing something tomorrow. We've got our end of summer production. We've got 72 students who have put together their own short film. They have shot their own music video. They edited it. We oversaw it to make sure that things were, excellent. And they've got a live stage production that goes along with the whole thing. It all integrates. The long story, the production runs about 30 minutes at max at tops. So I definitely would like to invite anybody that's available tomorrow at 6 p.m. At the, if you want to mark this down, 2244 Panola Road in Lithonia, Georgia. It's the old movie theater. Well, I'm sorry, Stonecrest, Georgia. Still getting used to that with the transition, but Stonecrest, Georgia, right here in the corner of Panola and Compton in the old movie theater. We'll be there tomorrow night. We'll be sharing all that they've done all summer, to the world. A lot of people are going to be there to support them.
That's great. Thank you.
I'm gonna leave tickets for you guys. I guess with the young lady at the back. That way, you guys, if that's okay, I'll leave the tickets. You guys are complimentary. You can get in and just let somebody know you're here with the city of Stonecrest, and they'll treat you real nice.
Okay. What's your name again? I'm sorry.
Pastor John Elmore, Elmore.
And what's your wife's name?
Terry, Terrie, Elmore.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, Pastor, for coming
Thank you
in.
for
Thank you for
having
the
me.
work you're doing with our students in the
Absolutely.
community. Appreciate you very much.
Thank you all.
Okay, now we'll move on. We have no old business, we go to new business, and I think one of the most important aspects for our new business is to introduce our new Economic Development Director, and that's Mr. William Smith. So, Mr. Smith, I just met you about 30 minutes ago, so I don't have any information that I can introduce you with, so I hope you don't mind that. I'll just let you take that from here and wow us with your background, expertise, and skill set.
Well, first and foremost, good evening. Thank you for having me. I am ecstatic to be in the city of Stonecrest. It is a new beginning, and I want to work with you and the community to bring some of your ideas to fruition. A little bit about my background. I've been in economic development basically, feels like my whole life at this point. I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama. came here to go to school, went to Morehouse, went on to get my master's from Georgia State. My first job in economic development was in Perry, Georgia. And so I drove from DeKalb at the time I was living in Brookhaven every day to Perry to cut my teeth, get my feet wet. I went on to work at the city of Smyrna, then in West Atlanta, and then Covington before here. So I've seen economic development on many different fronts, many different phases, in different environments. I hope to not really bring my vision, but to unearth your vision, City of Stonecrest. I'm just going to bring my technical expertise to help you do that. So that's kind of my humble story. And if anything you need from me here, I haven't had cards yet. Started on Monday. When I get that, I'll be out dispersing them.
Thank you. Well, welcome to the City of Stonecrest and to the Film and Entertainment Commission that we have in place. Anybody have any questions or comments that we want to make with Mr. Smith?
I have a question. It's more like a Stonecrest weekly question, but do you now live in Stonecrest?
No, I live in the city of Atlanta. Me and my wife, we bought a house about 6 years ago almost off of Cascade. So we kind of settled down there. Happy.
Any consideration of moving to Stonecrest?
Strong consideration. So our church home is actually out in Stonecrest, I guess, off of Panola, First African Baptist Church missionary. So that's our church home. That was her church home. My mother-in-law lived off of Panola, off of Marbuck. So I'm actually very familiar with Stonecrest in the area. But yeah, I like my little central location, but I love Stonecrest very, very much.
I believe you. I believe you.
I have a question for you. What is your knowledge of entertainment? And when I say entertainment, I mean film, music, theater, the arts overall in general.
So, I'm gonna be honest. My background primarily is, financial. It is real estate, and so one of my pride and joys is that I was able to work, kind of indirectly with the studio out in Covington, Three Ring. That was primarily, from my eyes, it was a financial real estate play. But I was able to sit down with the CEO and learn a tremendous amount about what that looks like in terms of, bringing different production companies in and giving them the opportunity to, go through some of the rigmarole of unearthing their productions and the filming industry as a whole. One of my first forays into filming was actually in the city of Smyrna. They had a tremendous amount of filming, and I ran some of that for that city. And so we were able to kind of have an intimate relationship. Some of the showrunners, some of the staff who were out front, finding locations, handling the site. So we were well versed in that. Some good relationships I've formed from that is just understanding the technical aspect that on the back end, the need for makeup, the need for boom operators, the need for short and long-term construction crews, things of that nature. And so some of the things that I will pull from my time in Covington even is that we want to create a community that can offer those individuals a place to work and to live. There's about 700, 800 people on a rotation that works at that studio. And so I think as we grow our film and location here, I think we can grow it much larger. You're going to see that. And it's not always the A-list actors that we're thinking about. It is the people behind the scenes. And so that's where I really want to focus the technical aspect, the workforce development, bring some of those skills to bear to really take some people who are, maybe not in the construction industry that we can use there. Take some people who are doing makeup and give them the technical expertise to do it on the film set. I think that's where we're really going to strike gold.
Any other questions? Well, again, welcome, Mr. Smith. Thank you. We're looking forward to working with you, and we're here to help and assist in any way we can to fulfill the vision that you have for us and the vision that we have for the city also. All right, thank you.
Welcome.
All right, well, next on our agenda, Mr. Dyer could not be here this evening, so we're going to move on to the next thing. And then finally, I guess, will be the discussion of activities for 2022. We have about 5 months left in the year, and I'd like to see what we can put in place for those 5 months or how we can move forward and do some activities. Anybody have any ideas or things that they want to move in reference to some activities that we can do? Now, of course, the month of July is over. I'd like for us to try to schedule something, whether it's an all-call or what it might be in reference to something for August. Any ideas from the past that we've had, any kind of all-calls? Now, Ms. Watson, you have a list of activities and things that we talked about we might be wanting to do.
Well, we, of course, discussed a lot of this earlier in the year. I think the main thing is trying to get our marketing items, and also maybe we could partner with somebody to do Parks and Rec to do a green on the green, maybe, also before it gets too cold. And we can do maybe a taste of Stonecrest with food trucks.
Food trucks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Going back to what we talked about as far as catering for film and television. We can also talk about doing maybe a concert, either a jazz, gospel, or hip-hop concert. That was one of the things that was on our list before. As far as all calls, we can revisit the actors, actress, and casting all call that we did a couple of years ago. Production assistance,
Let me ask Mr. Ross a question since he's here in reference to those things that you were saying. Mr. Ross, what about an idea for an all-call? What can we possibly do that we can maybe work together with our studios in reference to something for the community?
One of the things I would suggest is a state of the art or the state of what we do these. What we do, like for the most part, is have a big gathering where everybody comes together and they have a state of the art. Where is the industry at right now here in the state of Georgia and Stonecrest? And so you invite everyone in to come, whether it's the production assistants, whether it's financiers, but we all get together, pick a great location, and you just really put on a great show. And basically you guys talk about what's going on, what's really happening, because a lot of times when we all get together and network like that, it becomes the type of event where we all can have a really good time. We can eat, break bread together, but also find out what's going on and what people are doing, and then begin to interact with that. In the state of Virginia, we have the same thing. We also have the production. It's called the VPA, which is the Virginia Production Alliance, and so we come together. We sit down and we talk like bi-weekly, not bi-monthly. Bi-monthly. We have those kind of things as well. So I would say something that brings everybody together, where you can meet and greet, and you can bring food trucks, let the grips come out and do their thing. Bring the equipment. Bring the green screen. Bring all that stuff together so you can really showcase that Stonecrest, is a center of. As a hub for economic development and growth in film and television. A tremendous undertaking, but
When you say invite everyone, you're talking about crew members.
this can be
People
crew
that work
members, it can
on-
be producers, because it's the state of the industry basically, state of the industry and where Stonecrest is right now. So within that, we would feel a certain kinship with you. We get to meet you. We get to share ideas, and in a very relaxed, setting. And those companies who are doing, I don't know, maybe some companies are doing LED technology. Some companies are doing, whatever companies are doing here, individually as filmmakers with their productions. Here's an opportunity for them to come together and showcase, what they're doing, and it makes you look good because it says you're inviting in the industry to really tell us what's going on.
Is your mic on?
Yeah, can you, along those similar lines, I did want to mention that I'm thinking in terms of career day for students in middle school and high school. If we could bring those individuals into the equation and collaborate a little bit on that end, because I notice if you think about career day, you might think about the policeman, the fireman, which is good, but some of these background workers, as far as in the industry that's doing the actual work, not the, as you mentioned earlier, not necessarily the actors or the A-list actors, but it's a whole a list of careers that can be made out of this particular industry. So if that's something that we can collaborate as well with starting with the DeKalb County middle schools and high schools, and then get their mind thinking in terms of careers, as far as even if they have to go to college or not go to college or technical school or directly into the industry, just get a foothold in that. So I think that's something we could collaborate on.
We definitely can. Perfect, because there's, as you said, there are a myriad of jobs, small and large, that once you have a showcase and once students walk in and see the many things that go on a film set and
Right.
who's in charge of what, they're like, oh my God, I didn't know that you can hold a boom pole and make money. I didn't know that you could record the sound and make money. I didn't know that you could actually do the catering and somebody actually,
To make money.
make money. So there are so many different things, and those who have an interest in makeup, those who have an interest in hair, you'd be so surprised. Some students automatically can do prosthetics, and they know how to do all kinds of things. They just need to know how does that take place, and how does that take place in the industry. So
Right.
yeah, my hand is again. I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's one or two of my ideas.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do have a question. Is there generally a keynote speaker for this
Yes,
type of
there is
event?
a keynote speaker. So let's say someone from the Rob may do it or you may do it, but yeah, you just talk about Stonecrest, where you are. Very similar to the event at the club the restaurant that we went to. But just imagine that with 200-300 people from the industry enjoying themselves, in the state of the industry, as well as a career day. Featuring all sorts of people there, and people can actually see, like, I can actually take a poem and turn that into a screenplay and then get paid for that,
Right.
So those kind of ideas at a career day would really be inspiration to a lot of kids.
So it's like breakout sessions and workshops as well.
Workout
Okay.
sessions, right.
I just was reminding Councilman Turner about an organization they're in the process of coming up with, they're doing a industry, film and television and music, like fair.
Right.
So that's already kind of in the works of what you're talking about. I didn't want to kind of say anything, but yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay,
you
thanks.
bring out a Luma crane, for example. You bring out a jib arm. You bring out dolly tracks, and you have people actually do scenes. You put up the greens. You put all those activities up and make it a fair. Hopefully the weather cooperates, or if you have to go inside. But either way it goes, we have a fun day. You got the popcorn going. You got the screening room going. You come up with a bus, old-fashioned bus. I've seen people actually take old-fashioned buses and convert them. And people sit there and watch movies. It's so many things, that you can do with vintage film as well as new film, as well as the future, and all kinds of stuff that's going on. That the whole family would have a great afternoon of fun, and they would look at film in a much different way. But at the same time, while they're having fun, they're also learning.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. That's great. I mean, you really got our heads swimming and moving up here. I'm telling you, so many things to do, and you take it to a whole nother level, as they say. So I'm excited about that, bringing a higher standard in this film and entertainment production. Because we also at Stonecrest, we really want to be that lead domino. I'm not talking about playing dominoes. I'm talking about when you set the dominoes up one behind each other. When that first domino moves, everybody else falls behind them. So I want us to be that first domino. And having you in place and this commission in place and those ideas, and now with Mr. Smith in place, we can do some great things. I'm excited about that. So you'll be hearing from us, and we're going to be utilizing you very much with the experience and skill set you have in place. And you also, Pastor, with your experience, I'm forgetting you. You also, too. Anybody else have anything else in reference to what we're talking about ideas, anything we can possibly do? I like that idea you were telling me, Ms. Watson, about this group coming along. Maybe we could look at the Sam's building to do something and produce something there. and we can get with Mr. Smith and find out about it too. Anything? Yes, sir.
Just keep in mind our church is in a former movie theater, so any ideas necessary. I have 8 theater screens that still work to this day. So just keep that in mind. Festivals,
Premieres.
premieres, absolutely.
Gotcha.
We still do them. Although we're a church,
Good.
we also are community driven. So we do a lot of events like that to this very day.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank
I wanted to touch on the concert. So we have Jay Fly, who is the Southeast Grammy president that lives in Stonecrest. He has played for some of everyone, and I've tried to get him out, but he's always busy. But I've talked to him about doing a concert. It's just a matter of putting it together. And so when she said food trucks, we could get him to do the food trucks. He used to do the Wind Down Wednesday on the bricks downtown. And so, and he also did, I can't think of the other one, but he also does like the Channel 2 concert on New Year's. That's one of his things that he produces. But I mean, he's in our community, and he also has a school for, or not necessarily a school, but a music camp for students. But he would be a great person for us to partner with and have the food trucks come out and have maybe, I don't know, I wouldn't say a back to school concert because school starts in 2 weeks, but maybe a fall festival of some sort before it gets really cold.
Sounds good. Okay, so we can look at possibly you contacting him and let's talking about maybe some type of fall festival. You said Screen on the Green type of activity, something that we can get the community involved in and get our name out there and get active again. So let's look at that, Ms. Wilson and Ms. Watson. And were you about to say something too? Okay. Fortes, did you have any ideas or anything that you want to share? Because you're a great resource with Stonecrest Weekly for us, and I didn't know if there's anything that you want to share with us, anything.
Not at the moment. I'm loving all of the ideas I've heard so far, especially about bringing some of the production equipment on site and allowing the kids to kind of see and learn. I love the food trucks and the concerts, so I think all great ideas so far.
Guys, it surprises me because I'm surprised he didn't say talent show because that's all he ever talks to me about. He's like, there's a lot of kids in the community. They all want to showcase what they're doing. We should have a talent show. And so the fact that you didn't say that right now, I'm actually laughing because, you know, everyone wants their opportunity to shine. And maybe also on those days, if we have a lot of casting agencies in the community as well, that there's an opportunity for them to come and, you know, do spoken word or do a monologue or something like that if they wanted to participate in that manner.
All right, so what will our takeaway be this evening before I adjourn the meeting in reference to what we've heard today from Mr. Ross, from Pastor, and from Mr. Smith, and also from Ms. Watson and Ms. Wilson? What are we looking at in reference to our next activity? Not necessarily in the next 30 days, but sometime in the future where we can start getting back out there and get active.
Quick question, are we gonna go over the marketing materials or no?
We can? You want to go over that?
I was just asking because on the last meeting, I sent them out to everyone and you said that we would go over them. I just want to make sure.
We can. The only reason I did not bring it up is because I didn't know whether we were supposed to vote on any of these things in reference to this equipment or this paraphernalia and all, because in order for any purchases to take place, there must be a vote in reference to before we can purchase anything. We can go over it.
Okay.
Want to go?
Well, we can. I mean, I know that the logo was supposed to be sent by Sandra, I think, to Miss Jackson for her review.
Did she see? I didn't get a CC of that, so I don't know whether she did that or not. Did she?
Yeah, she sent over the logo change.
Okay.
And wanted to get everybody's approval. But
Can't do that right now.
But we can't vote on it or even access that.
Well, we can wait till we have a quorum in
Yeah, that's, again, so
I
you see
just-
the importance of a quorum. We're somewhat limited in reference to moving forward with making decisions. We can talk about things and have ideas in place, but in order for us to make it official, because we are a city organization and, we're utilizing city funding, we have to abide by the policies and procedures in place in reference to voting. So, but yeah, if you want to talk about some of those things, add some things, or talk about any other things that we want to talk about in paraphernalia or marketing,
No, I'm fine.
Because we have a budget
You
for it.
mentioned it. I know, you mentioned it earlier. I just
Okay.
want to make sure that
Okay,
you didn't want to skip over that. We can wait.
okay. Because I really
Or
want
unless
us to get
someone
some
wants
things. It
to
would have been
add
great to have it at our first meet and greet, but we have other activities that are coming on that we'll be able to do that. Any other comments, any other things that you want to talk about, any other ideas, any announcements, anything you want to share? Anybody? Well, I think it's been a very informative meeting this evening, and we got some ideas, and we can move on those. Again, Ms. Wilson and Ms. Watson, I want us to talk even further about these food trucks and different things that we can get this concert in place and see what we need to do. And then once we have our next meeting, whether it's a special call meeting or whatever we need to do in reference to voting on that, get that done, and then start moving in place of that. Anything else, Ms. Wilson?
None for me.
Okay. Fortes, anything else? Ms. Watson?
Nope. Good.
Mr. Mack?
I'm good.
Okay. And there are no other comments in the audience? Again, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you joining us. And again, thank you for sharing the vision. And now, you're part of us now. I don't know whether you realize it or not. And we don't have to vote on that part, that you're part of us. Thank you for the partnership you offered us this evening and the collaboration that we're looking forward to working with you on as we move forward to create this great place of destination for film, entertainment, music, digital entertainment, fashion, whatever it might be, that we become that destination for the citizens of Stonecrest. So if no other comments, no other points? Yes, sir.
And thank you for the tickets also.
Oh, yes, thank you for the tickets. All right, well, we don't need to vote for an adjournment. I just called this